Hey everyone, it's Kristen here and welcome to my channel. I'm a book enthusiast, so today I'm excited to chat about The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. If you're a book nerd just like me, hit that subscribe button and let's jump into this review. So to start off this review, I wanted to jump into a quick overview about The Midnight Library. I did want to mention I absolutely love this book. I thought it was pretty relevant to how many of us live our lives today or how we think about it today. But this book is mainly based on one main character by the name of Nora Seed. She finds herself in sort of a sticky situation. She does decide to commit suicide, and she does actually find herself in what they call the Midnight Library. This library is ran by Miss Elm, who Miss Elm is someone that she had met at a very young age. And all these books in the library, I mean, there's thousands and thousands of shelves, and all these books in the library are just different variations of Nora's lives that she could have lived. And she finds herself in a situation where she's slowly starting to open up these books, find out what she likes, what she doesn't, and each of these lives have different like give or takes to them. So that's a little bit of a quick overview about the book. So after reading this book, I highly recommend for anyone who hasn't read it, please go ahead, read it. Matt Haig did a wonderful job writing this book. So I guess let's jump into this review now. And to start off, I wanted to briefly kind of chat about the beginning. I felt like it was super dark, super depressing. Nora wasn't enjoying her life. I thought Matt did a very good job kind of summarizing about how she was working a minimum wage job that she didn't like, how she was living alone in her apartment. She had no relationship with her brother. Her brother actually blamed the reason why their band dissolved on her. And then her cat passed away, unfortunate. So Nora did commit suicide, and then she ended up finding herself in what they call the Midnight Library. This library is ran by Miss Elm, which is her old librarian. And I thought it was really, really cool that Matt had drawn Miss Elm to be the one in charge of the library, because Miss Elm had a very important significance in Nora's life growing up. So I felt like it made sense for Miss Elm to be running the library. And Nora finds thousands and thousands and thousands of books on these shelves in the library. And Miss Elm sort of goes over that each shelf is gonna be a different way that her life could have been. And I felt like at this point, I started kind of realizing that this book is gonna really jump into some what if scenarios. What if she swam since she was, growing up and became an Olympic swimmer? What if she did go to college and was a professor? What if she was married, had kids, had a dog? All these different scenarios. And as she started going in and out of these lives, she started actually realizing that she wants to live. And it was really interesting that there was a couple situations where she found herself, for example, wanting to be really close with her brother. So she would tell Miss Elm, give me the life to where I have an actual relationship with my brother. And that life ended up being the one where she was an Olympic swimmer. Her brother was her manager. And she had a great life with her brother, but everything else, she had all the money in the world, and it just wasn't enough for her. She didn't like it. She didn't want to just be, doing all of these, it was after she was an Olympic swimmer. So that wasn't the life for her. Then she told Miss Elm, give me a life to where I'm, actually have a relationship living in Australia with my best friend, Izzy. She goes to Australia, finds out she has no relationship with Izzy. Moving to Australia wouldn't have repaired that relationship to begin with. So she dissolved out of that life. I thought it was really interesting. Then she went to another life where she was a geologist. and she was working on all these glaciers. She was actually really enjoying the work she was doing. And there was a point in that life where she was almost attacked by a bear. And that second is the moment where she realized, wow, I want to start living. I don't want to be attacked by a bear. I'm actually enjoying some of these lives that I could have had. And I felt like Matt did a good job wrapping it all up together with the last life she lived. The last life, she was in there for quite some time. She was married to Ash, and if all you guys read the book, Ash is the man that she had met sort of towards the beginning of the book. It was the man that had told her that her cat had unfortunately, passed away and was on the side of the road. And she had a daughter and a dog and Ash in that life, and everything was going so smoothly. And there was a moment where she dissolved from that life, and the Midnight Library started breaking into pieces. And it was really because she realized that Miss Elm even helped her realize that this was a moment in life where she did want to live. She had a purpose. She wanted to live. So the Midnight Library started breaking apart for that. At the end of the book, Matt did a great job having Nora realize that she wants to live. As the library is burning and blowing up in flames and being destroyed, she ends up writing in a blank book with a certain pen just saying, "I am alive." And that was at the moment where she ended up wanting to live, ended up realizing there's so many possibilities. So towards the end of the book, she finds herself playing chess again with Miss Elm, which chess is what she played in the beginning of the book. It's what she played growing up with Miss Elm, and Miss Elm made her realize that there's so many possibilities. So she sort of woken up with all these different situations, and she realized at the end that she wants to live, and she starts then realizing there's so many different possibilities of different lives she could live. And that was pretty much the sum of the book. I thought Matt Haig did a wonderful job wrapping it up. I thought he did a wonderful job having, me as a reader realize that you don't want to dwell on these what if scenarios, which I kind of thought was the theme of the book. Also realizing that there's really no perfect life out there. You might have some hard, times. You might think, oh, if I was an Olympic swimmer, then I would have, having all the money in the world, it would make my life a lot easier. And Nora kind of found that the hard way, that having all the money in the world definitely didn't make her life easier. There's still going to be situations that happen in life that are out of her control. So overall, thought this book was good. I rated it 5 stars on Goodreads. Follow me on Goodreads. I copied the link below. And if you did already read this book, comment your thoughts on below. I would love to have a discussion about it. And for anyone that wants to look at future videos I come out with, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications so you don't miss one, and see you next time. Bye.